Hey, what's up everybody? This is Issa from End Times Mama, and I just wanted to give a quick breakdown of what is happening in Syria. Now, this all started earlier this week. There was a horrific chemical attack in a northern rebel-held region of Syria, and the international community immediately took for granted that it was done by the current Syrian government of President Bashar al-Assad. 58 people were killed, including 11 children. It seemed to be mostly women and children that were killed. And after meeting with military advisors, President Trump did end up ordering airstrikes against an airbase in Syria last night. Now, he claimed to be so moved by the images of the chemical attack that he felt very strongly that the U.S. and its allies had to respond and called upon other U.S. countries to join his efforts to stop the al-Assad regime. Now, that is of course, official story. As news reports were coming in last night, it was hard to determine whether or not Russia was actually informed that this attack took place because, of course, Russia is an ally of Syria and has been helping the al-Assad regime during its brutal civil war that has been going on for the last 6 years. Some reports were saying that Russia was informed, others were saying that they weren't. The U.S. government did say that this was an airbase that was chosen because there were no Russian hospitals or military vehicles or any kind of Russian presence of any kind at this airbase. But this morning, Putin did come out and condemn the attacks and say that this puts a big strain on relations between the U.S. and Russia. Now, it absolutely has to be mentioned how crazy it is that for the last few months we've been hearing the constant narrative that Trump has been colluding with the Russians just to have him turn around and bomb a Russian ally. I don't know if these two narratives will coexist in the mainstream media, but only time will tell. Now, to look at this a little bit closer, it does seem very likely, and I'm not the only one saying this, and it's not just truthers that are saying this either, it does seem very likely that the chemical attack that happened in the first place it has all the makings of a false flag. I'm not saying for sure it was a false flag, but it doesn't make sense that Assad would have used chemical weapons that are banned by international treaties when conventional warfare would have been legal and more effective at killing more people. Only 58 people were killed, and in a conflict where Assad currently has the upper hand, he has the support of a huge country like Russia. So far, the U.S. has not intervened. It doesn't make any sense at all that he would provoke international scrutiny by using chemical weapons once again. Now, take it for what it's worth, but Obama National Security Advisor Susan Rice, who has already been under a lot of scrutiny in the news this week for supposedly spying on the Trump administration, said in January to the news media that all chemical weapons had been removed from Syria. I wouldn't trust that woman as far as I could throw her. That doesn't necessarily mean that she is lying here. Another very interesting factor to this huge story is that immediately after ordering the attack on Syria, Trump sat down and had dinner with the Chinese president, as reported by Breitbart. It is true that Trump is meeting with the Chinese president at Mar-a-Lago this week. And of course, China is a big ally to Russia, and we've had our fair share of potentially provoking China in two separate incidents in the first 100 days of the Trump administration, including putting an aircraft carrier in disputed territory in the South China Seas, as well as moving forward with a defensive missile system in South Korea that China warned would certainly lead to an arms race with North Korea, which China wanted no part of. If in fact we did just bomb one of Russia's major allies and Russia has come out and condemned it, which seems to be what is in fact happening, this is definitely not a good thing, no matter how you look at it. There are, of course, people who do support Trump, who believe that chemical weapons should not be used in warfare, who support their move, and there are people who think that this is undeniable proof that he is in fact a puppet of the New World Order elite, and this is all being orchestrated to put a Rothschild-backed central bank in Syria, which is supposedly one of the few countries in the world that does not have one. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know what is going on. What I do know is that there has never been a more important time to put your faith in Jesus Christ. Before you run to social media, to YouTube, to the mainstream media to figure out what's going on, to try to read between the lines, to try to know who's really behind this and what's really going on, put your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm not knocking research because I will be doing my own. I guarantee you. I'm a news junkie. I'm a political junkie. And I am terribly concerned about what this means for geopolitical conflict in our current world. But as I have always said, I do not put my faith in men. I do not put my faith in governments. I do not put my faith in armies. I put my faith in Jesus Christ, because no matter what goes down in this current world, no matter how effective or ineffective military efforts are in other countries, the only thing that is going to truly set all things right, that is going to truly avenge brutal chemical weapons attacks and violent missile campaigns in other countries and 6 years of bloody civil war, the only thing that is going to make all these things right is the return of the Lord Jesus Christ. You cannot put your faith in man, and you can't put your faith in yourself to be one step ahead of people who are incredibly powerful, because they're probably still going to trick you. I just put out a blog post earlier this week called Truthers, You Are Not Immune to Deception, and that is so important to understand right now. It is very important to be discerning and to scrutinize the facts and make sure that you don't get caught up in some narrative that might be used against you, but the truth or narrative can be used against you too. So just be careful before you make up your mind about what's really going on. I have presented with you, obviously, my opinions. This is not objective news, and I wouldn't pretend to be objective. This is my assessment of what is going on and the different factors at play here, and I couldn't possibly claim to know how this is going to turn out, who's really behind everything, or what is going on. But I do know who is ultimately in control, and that is the Lord Jesus Christ. And if you have not put your faith in him, I would highly encourage you to see what it's all about, to read the Bible, read the Gospels, put your faith in him, because if you hunger and thirst for righteousness, he is the only thing that will fill that. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like and a share if you found it encouraging, informative, or edifying. And thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and Christ be with you now more than ever. Take care.